Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to today's weekly update. This channel is meant to align your thoughts and to help you see some things to make profit in the forex trading. Last week has been a very good week for us. If you know how to plan your entry and exit. So I will be showing us a couple of things that we need to know for us to be more relaxed. We need to take informed decisions. You don't have to trade under panic and anxiety. But at the same time, you need to know what you know. If you don't have the required skill and knowledge to be successful, you might be losing out and probably burning your money or blowing your account anyhow. But it's always good to seek knowledge, devote good time to study and to understand what it's all about. I'm trying to also mentor us here. And let's kick in. I'll be showing us a couple of things. We have said so many things that the price had gotten here, we may be having a changeover, and that looking at the overall market, this is DXY, overall market, we still believe that we are correcting and we still need to have an equal harm like this to the downside. Is this the start of the movement, or are we going to go up without taking this top? We are going to look at all of that. Now, let me zoom in for us to see this is where we are, and we are more interested here. What is as presented to us, you can see the wedge here, which looks more like an ending diagonal here. And before this move, are we still going to break this top? We're going to find out. We need to pay attention to what is developing here. Like I said again, if there's a real intention for us to move, the first thing to do on a higher time frame is to get to the end of this wave, and we are almost approaching it. We are yet to break this weekly candle. Weekly resistance. Now we are seeing this price action to the upside. I want you to pay attention now. We are yet to break this bottom on the DXY. Once taken, we are sure that we are at least progressing to the downside. But for now, this is the kind of reaction we are seeing short before here. So we need to look at every other instrument to align ourselves. For now, it may be calling this a correction, an A, B, and a C. That's the way it's looking like. An A, so probably this is a movement of 5 waves, maybe an A, B, and a C. But if this is going to be an A, B, and a C, and not an impulse, we expect that the retracement here from this level to this level down here should not go beyond 161.8. At the moment, it has not touched an 100, which suggests that we might be breaking or taking this low one more time. And after taking this low, it may just cap this area. What are we going to have again? So that's the next thing. So the next wave after, if you take this low, the next wave, the way it goes up, is it an impulse or a correction? We also suggest what is going to happen if you are going down the more, and that it might just be beginning of the move to go down, and for that weakness to kick in. That is the information we are getting here on the DXY. So an AB, not yet an equal leg. And this correction for now should not take this. if I go to 4 hour time frame, so I will tell you. So now this is the 4 hour time frame. So we see this move as an A move, which looks like probably a 5-wave structure, a correction, a B move here. We see this as what? As an A or a 1, a 2 here, probably a 3 and a 4 here on the lower time frame to have finished this. Maybe because if you look at this as an ABC, this had gone beyond 161.8, so it's an impulse to the downside. This is seen as a correction. So we don't want to take this as probably a 4th wave. If you take this as a 2, this had gone beyond a 4th wave because the retracement of this entire run to this point is beyond 38. It's almost at 50, if it's not 50 yet. So we need to pay attention to what is happening. And immediately after this move is an impulse to the downside, and we are correcting again. So we may be going down, take the low one more time before we have a bigger correction to the upside. So we want to know what it's going to be like. And we're going to look at all other instruments for us to align our thought as to what is expected. Yes, we know that we are going to go down and dollar is going to weak at some point. Is it the beginning of that movement? Are we still going to go up? But for now, this is the level you don't want to break. If you take this level and we take this level, most likely we are going up again to take this level. That is what it's the DXY is presenting us. But for now, I think we shouldn't look to sell further DXY. We should be looking for a correction to the upside, and that is the game now. If anybody is on this trade of DXY, I think you should look further for us to have a correction, probably to break this top to the bottom one more time, then look for correction. So the wave that we get here will tell us the next move after this wave. So because we should be looking for to buy it, that means for dollar to gain some strength. Would it be corrective? Would it be an impulse? That is what we need. And that will tell us, give an insight to the next movement that we're going to have. Probably we're going to break down again. But of course, we need to correct the old move to the upside. That's what I'm saying. Now, if I bring out my drawing on the DXY, and this is the daily, like I said, let's bring out the drawing on the DXY on the daily. So what I've said to us, let me zoom out, is that this move from here to here to here, an AB, and this is where we expect an 100. The 100 should break this B wave, and this is 161.8. So we may just go up, finish up this. This may just be a 1-2 or a move. It could be another, this may be a 1-2, and the third wave probably might just be a 1-2 before we go down again. It could be anything, but we need to see what is developing. Okay. So, but this is where we don't want to break for now, and this against this area. So if we go to US dollar index, what is US dollar index giving us? So at the point in our movement, it's almost the same, except that this has given us like a wave 1 and a corrective 2 to the upside. And this looks more like a wave 3 and 2 of 3. This is where DXY started its own, maybe higher up, and that's the difference now. But this one, it's giving us a lower low, a lower, yes, a lower high. In this is high. This is a low, and the upper high, so downtrend, and this one now. So the retracement of this wave to this one is at least agrees with B or 2. And so far, the retracement here, we need to see, I think it's looking like what might just agree with 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So now in terms of if you take these as the beginning of the move here, which is a 1 and a 2, we will expect a 161.8 extension. And if we take that, because that's what is presenting to us, so let's look at it. Now, taking these as an extension, this is from here, like a 1 and a 2. A 161.8 is here, which is broken already. A 161.8 is broken here already. So the price had even touched B, trying to break B, which is not what we are seeing on DXY. So the US dollar index is giving us a scenario of more weakness than DXY is putting it. So, but at the same time, we must be wary, because where we don't want to break now, it's this area on US dollar index. So if this is going to grow into a bigger wave to the downside, we may eventually be seeing, a nest developing on wave 3, because most of the time it's on wave 3 that we see a nest. And what is a nest? A nest is 1, 2, 1, 2 wave, 1, 2, 1, 2 wave. You see a movement, and the next retracement, it's up to wave 2 or B, which is around 50 or a 61.8. That is where you see a nest developing. It might not even go to 78 or 76. It's usually around 50 or 60. And the next wave that you see again goes down, and another retracement is at about 50 or 61.8. So, and if you don't know what a nest is, you are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to mess you up, because you won't see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a nest. So usually it occurs in wave 3. And this may end up developing into a nest, because after the first move that is very corrective and a 2 here, this may be a 1 and a 2. This may grow to be another 1 and a 2. And if you are looking at, let's see this move here from the third wave itself as a 1 and a 2. This is where the 100 is, and this is where the 127 is, and 161.8 here. Once we have a break below here, then we know that yes, we have confirmed our movement to the downside and dollar to lose it. So all we are saying is that yes, what we desire is for dollar to lose strength, but for now, we should be looking for a correction. So these may go down, take the bottom one more time, but we should now be looking for a correction. What we correct the whole movement from this top to bottom, probably an ABC. So the first way to the upside would decide, and once we begin to cross here, then you know that it's more deeper. So that is what we are looking for now. Nobody should be looking to continue to sell, or an overt weakness for now for the dollar. I think the dollar is poised for some recovery, if it's not going to be an impulse. So that's what we are saying. So with that said, we are going to take that to euro dollar. So that's where I'm going to spend more time on euro dollar. Let's spend more time on euro dollar. I'm going to be digging deep into euro dollar, and let's use these. First, remember that I gave us this, and I said we may be seeing, let me zoom out, that we may be seeing eventually in the future, if this one becomes an A, this may be an A, B, and a C of a B, and we may be going down as a C to break here. But looking at the internal architecture of this initial wave here, it's looking as if we have, an ending diagonal in the makeup around this area where we have a truncated 5, and we may not take the low again, but we'll see how it turns out. If that is the case, like I said, if we're going to come down, only one thing would happen. If we're going to break the low, only one thing would happen. If you take this as an A and this is a B wave, and this is probably an A of a B, and we take this one as a B of a B, and that this one is a C of a B, we know that the extension between this A wave and B is almost at about 1 to 7. It is slightly below it, but if we are even trying to manipulate the market, let me use the word. If we are even trying to manipulate that the market is actually 1 to 7, because it's a bit below it. At the 1 to 7, the only thing we can get for now at that 1 to 7 is a running flat. And so with that getting a running flat, we should not pass a 76 retracement to the upside of this entire run from here to this point. We should not pass it before we now go down, if that is what we are going to have. So now, if I now bring out my drawing, like I said the last week, I was trying to show us this, that this is an A and this is a B. This may just end this as a C. So this C may come here, but in case they want to play a fast one, then we need to see a very strong reaction to the downside. And this is a 61.8, price had broken it. Let me take that off. And where we are seeing some correction here now is at 76. So a break out of here clearly tells us that this is not coming down to break the low. And this is a new wave in itself. Once we break out of here, if price should come down correct and break and take the top one more time and go up a bit, then it nullifies this to come down and take the low. Then the best we can have is this, a completion of a complete broccoli of 1, and we have an ABC of 2, then we go for that. Anyhow, is it that we break the low, we are going up, or we have an ABC correction, we are going up. So that is what I'm trying to say. So now let's now go into the architecture and try to dig more. I'm not calling that this is going to come down now. Please get me clear. The dynamics must change around this area before you can begin to think that price is going to come here and take the low. Now, going further to talk about Euro USD, because that's the same thing you're going to take to DXY and other trades that you have, US dollar index and all of that. We have said something about the build-up of wave. When you see this as because if you want to look at the internal activity of this wave, we see this as a wave 1 or a wave A, and this is the first correction here of a wave 2. Now, this going up this way, we know that this cannot be a wave 3, because the extension between here and here does not mark up to a wave 3. Then we have a small correction that followed it. And after this full correction, we have a move. So what I'm trying to say is that we are yet to see a wave 4. We had seen a wave 2, a wave 1, and a wave 2. So an extension, what will make this to go into an impulse and not an ABC is once you break 161.8. For now, these had managed to stall at a 161.8. And that is where we are seeing this correction. A breakout of it will tell us that now this is an impulse, a first broccoli of AB 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside, an ABC of a bigger 2 to the downside, and for more upside. So we are trying to look for opportunity to sell now. You don't want to buy euro dollar from here. Anybody that is trading this must be looking for a way to exit. Probably you trade your stop loss and look for where you're going to get an ending diagonal for a move to the downside. That is what we are looking for. So once we get that set up, then we go for it. Now, in our attempt to get set up, I've taught us so many things and how to use our trend line. How to use our trend line. Wave 3 is the longest, and wave 3 is where you begin to look for, oh, this thing is going to end. And when you draw your trend line from 1 to 2 here, it's going to go more horizontal than vertical because it's wave 1 and 2. And if you're going to wait until you have a cross of that before you detect that trade has changed direction, it will be too late for you. So once you do your 1 and 2, you have to look for wave 3 and plot a wave 1 and wave 2 of 3, and that is how to do it. So now, I may want to zoom out or zoom in to bring out my drawing for you to see what I've done here. So what I've done here is to label this as, because in here in itself, we are seeing that in the minor degree, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside and a 2 here. And this now grew up also to another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to become the first one that we can see, and a 2 here, which is a 3 waves to the downside, 1, 2, 3 to the downside before this move. And once you have a break of a resistance, it means that price still has something to do up there. And when the structure is not complete and you have a break like this, you have to count a structure of the wave as an ABC or a motive wave of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least it must complete before you begin to think that price is going to walk in the opposite direction and begin to break. So in this case, we have done a wave 1 and wave 2, and we saw this move and another move to the downside. This looks like something that is a similitude of what we call a nest of a wave 3 to push the price to appropriate what we expect now. So if you look at this now, even on this broker, which is forex.com, this is with 3, 1 and a 3, 2. So we are having a 1 and a 2 and another move to the upside. Before we now say, okay, these had markup exactly at 161.8. So a 1 and a 2, the 161.8 is at this level. So and if that is at 161.8, the first 1 and 2 gives you like a days, a trend support here. But within 1 and 2 of a 3, the first move of a 3, 3, 1 and 3, 2, we can see this trend line. So we are working with this trend line. So this is more tighter for you to know that once you begin to cross this, the new trend support, then we are trying to come down. But again, looking at this on this higher time frame is still also very slow and late. We are using trend line pari passu with your structure formation and counting your structure and the wave that should develop. Now with this, what we have told ourselves is that this actually had marked up to like wave 3, and with 4, once you have a break around this area, know that price is coming down. This is where you can have a break of a wave 4. But most of the time, wave 4 does not have to take 38. It can stall at 1.14. It can stall at 23%, 23.6. It can stall anywhere. So, but for now, this is where we are seeing this reaction. And this reaction suggests that price is trying to correct for a movement. We are not seeing a price action to bring the price to the downside. This is the daily, and this is not strong enough. When the price wants to end a structure and move to the other side, it for us to give you an ending structure, which we are not seeing. We are going to also break this down into the 4 hour and the 1 hour. So what you can trust most of the time is your 4 sign on the 4 hour. The 4 hour would make you see, is it an ending structure you are seeing or a reaction of a 4th wave? So now But a break out of here tells you that wave 3 is gone. So once your wave 3 is gone, you should know that wave 3 is gone. So not until we have this break now. So we want to see as price will walk and bevel. Let's use the word bevel towards this line and probably begin to lose momentum trying to go up. So in our attempt to lose momentum trying to go up, we want to see if this is the level of our fourth on this larger time frame. A 161.8 maybe should still get to this point, which you may still buy to up to this level before you begin to descend. We are looking for a sell setup. Don't look for a new buy here. That is what I'm saying. Except if it's going up and you're in a buy, continue to trade your stop loss. And for here, we are seeing a breakout of here. This is a weekly time, a weekly resistance here, which price had broken to the upside now on euro dollar. Like I said, on yes, let's look at it. It has broken it here. On US dollar index, it kissed it. On DXY, it's below it. On euro dollar, it has broken it to the upside. That's still in a way trying to tell me that momentum is towards dollar losing momentum. That's what we are saying. But for now, we are looking for a big correction or ABC correction at least. Now, if I go inside of this on the 4th hour or 4 hour, like I told us, this is like a nest. This in itself has built itself into a 5-wave structure. A 5-wave structure, a 1 and a 2, a 3, a 4, and we have an ABC of a 2, and a retracement here is about 50 or so, or thereabouts. So that's a nest of a 1, 2, because it didn't give you a 3. The retracement here is not up to 161.8. It didn't give you a 3, so it's a 1, 2 structure, and here it backs up to a 3. Now, we also have begin to need to look at, once you see a deep correction like this, begin to look for a new wave to count. So this also looks like a 1, ABC of a 2 here. So we see a 1 and a 2 here. So once you see a 1 and a 2 here, we are seeing something like a 3 and a 4 around this area of this particular wave, the new wave, which may probably end the internal architecture of wave 3 in itself. So this also looks like a 4th wave. You can see an ABC down, and now we are seeing a movement to the upside. This movement to the upside, we may come to break this or not. You must know that we may come to break this or not. We need to see, this is 4 hour, and this 4 hour price action, it's strong enough and it's corrective. It's within corrective format. We want to see how price is going to go up and take up this area, or we don't want to break this area. So if you've been buying, this is an area you don't want to break for now. Price should not break here. A break out of here means price is coming down. And again, you must know that in an ending structure, once the price completes that ending structure, the first move to the opposite side should be an impulse that will first come stall at wave 4, the previous wave 4, before any correction. So it's always like that. When you are not sure of a move to the downside on a bigger platform, the first move will first come down in an ending structure to stall at the 4th wave before it goes up again as a correction, and for you to pick your sell order to sell. So we are looking for a sell. Don't look for a new buy here. I've repeated that over time now. So now we are seeing this developing as what looks like a wave 4 to this point. Now, is this going to grow into a much bigger wave? So if it grows into a much bigger wave, that means we are seeing something of this nature here, which is a bigger wave 2, and this may give a bigger wave 4, and one more time to go up. So probably by Tuesday or Wednesday, we may finish up with this movement to the upside, and we are coming down. So we have to begin to look at that. So I don't see this coming down immediately on Sunday, except something, you know, the price must complete the structure completely upside, you know, before we see that movement to the upside, to the downside. Now, looking at this one, we need to see if price is going to probably retrace to break this top, and you can begin to see what again the price is trying to do. Now, if I go inside of a 1 hour, one thing again you must know, in an ending diagonal, it's a zigzag that you see in an ending diagonal. You don't see the 5 waves that you are going to see. The wave 1, wave 3, wave 5, usually they are zigzag. They are zigzag structure, not particularly a motive wave. It's only in leading diagonal that you see a 5-wave format in what's you know, in wave 1. So it's only yeah, the 5 waves there, the wave 1 of a leading diagonal, wave 3 and wave 5, they are usually an impulse of 5. So the 2 and the 4 in the leading diagonal is 3 waves. But in an ending diagonal is all 3 waves. In an ending diagonal, most of the time is all 3 waves. Because it's all 3 waves, wave 1, wave 3, wave 5, they are zigzag. So now we are seeing this now. On a 4-hour time frame, this looks like, for this wave 3 to have finished itself, looks perfectly like what you will see in an ending diagonal here. From this is the 4th wave, of this move, and price did this. So this is an ending diagonal move here. So which looks like, okay, wave 3 has ended in this turquoise blue. So, and the price going down for a wave 4, which may be a bigger wave 4 or a 4 of 3. So we'll see, and this is where it is now, and this is going up. Now, this going up also, this is going up as a 5-wave structure. We have to look at it. If we zoom out, it's going up as a 5-wave structure, a 1 and a 2, a 3, a 4. And a 3, a 4. Let's go to the 5 minutes time frame of here. I'm just showing us something here. We need this, can you see? It's a 1 and a 2. It's a 3, 1, a 3, 2, like a nest, and has finished with 3. And this, it's a correction in itself. A zigzag here. As this finished with 4, do we have an ending diagonal of with 5 of this particular move, which is truncated here? Now, how do we find a solution to this? Because these are done with 4. Usually the mood you need to see, like I said, this is a zigzag here, A, B, and a C of that with 4, and this is a new move. So what we need to do is to bring this here as the end of 1 there, end of 2 here. If indeed this is end of 3, or end the 5-wave here, like a 4 and a 5, this is the ending diagonal here. So we now have a 4, and if this truncated 5, if that is it, and nothing that is going to go up immediately. So what we want to see is that from these two down here, the second yellow down, up here, what we confirm that it's a wave, is a new wave, we need to take out 38.2. So 38.2 here is here. 38.2 is there. So once we take this out to the downside, if price should break this to the downside, then we are telling us that, okay, this has built a wave one without breaking the low, and without breaking the low of this, then we have to now look for an ABC of the move from here. Without breaking 85. We may even put it here, yes. Or let's say 88, without breaking that point. You may use red for that. So what I'm saying is that in this move, which looks to have been completed as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this looks like a truncation here, a 1 and a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 truncation here, a truncation of to this wave, and this is 5, which is like an ending diagonal to this move, the fifth wave like this. It may be the fifth wave. This will be confirmed as the fifth wave of this entire run to the upside once it breaks low here. So if that happens, it means that we are doing an ABC that should not take the low here before we see a further upside. And if that begins to now happen, so we are now trying to count the last wave to the upside of this move. Let me go back to 15 minutes time frame. So if that happens, what we are trying to see is that if this is now 3 and this is now 4th wave, so we are seeing a wave 5, the last wave, building up in an ending diagonal in itself, where this becomes the first wave of that one. Breaking this low, we want to see a wave 2. We want to push further by breaking the top as a wave 3. We want to see a move again as a wave 4 and a 5 that also end in truncation after breaking the top, and we are coming down. So I'm just giving us a whole lot of stuff, and all those time wasting will be towards trying to break this point. So we need to see what is going to happen here first. And with any movement for now, is subject to not breaking this area. Is subject to not breaking this area because this may become a larger 4 by making this an A, B, and a C before we now begin to count with 5. You must know that as well, because these, if this had ended 4, then we should not take low for now. This is an impulse. We should see a 1, a 2, a 3, breaking the top, a 4, and a 5 before we move down. If they decide for now to break low, this will be an A, B, and a C. Then we now begin to count the last 5. So we don't know what it's going to be, so we cannot predict. But what it looks like to me, so far from what we are seeing here, everything is subject to this, breaking this. So once you break this trend support, it means wave 3 is completely gone. Wave 3, internal activity of wave 3 is gone, and this is wave 4 of the entire run. It's subject to that wave 4 of the entire run. Before we see more upside, it doesn't just end in a Giphy, except if it's a big impulse and whatever. So for now, I'm digging into that to teach us so many things. For now, on the can we see anything on the weekly time frame? I doubt it. On the weekly time frame, for now, it might look bullish because we've just broken this top. It might look bullish, but we need to correct a bit low. Price may correct a bit low. If it's going to give us, we will know. If it's not going to give us, we will know. We'll find out. We need to see a build-up of ending diagonal on the lower time frame, at least 4 hour, 1 hour, 4 hour, before we say, okay, we are coming down. Otherwise, we may just be going on. But these are areas that are risky that you don't want to pick a new buy. You need correction to pick any buy here again. So on the daily time frame, this is not impulsive enough to end this structure. So the structure is not end. We need to finish with 4. We have seen it with 2. This is the internal structure with 3. We need to cross that trend support to finish with 4. So I'm not seeing that yet. And on the 1 hour, it's still very, very, very early, like I said. Now, with that, I've come to the end of euro dollar. So let's go to NZD USD. NZD USD. It's the same application that you're going to use for NZD USD as well. New Zealand dollar. You need to pay attention to all of these things. New Zealand dollar, the same approach. The same approach. You see a 1 and a 2 and the next here before we see this move. If I zoom out and I bring out my drawing without wasting time, it's the same thing. So we are saying that even from here itself, this move itself, once it's 1.8 has been crossed here. Sorry, once it's 1.8, this probably had crossed more than once it's 1.8. So this is good for a wave 3. And this is the break of this weekly resistance here at this point. We have broken it. So this may be the beginning of a new move. So 1 and 2 will go this way. And within wave 3 itself, we need to cross this to the downside. Taking this as a wave 2, the limit of wave 4 is here. So for now, I believe we are doing an internal structure of wave 3 itself. If this is a 1-2 format here, probably we need to finish. There's still more upside. We're still going to break up to the upside and correct to break this trend line. So at the cross of that, then you know that it's time to really begin to say you want to look for yourself. So we need to see how price will take this first. If it break this without completing or giving us a what we call ending diagonal, then it means the price will still go up the more, finish up as an ending diagonal and on a much higher time frame, like 1 hour or 4 hours before we descend. So the same way, you don't want to look for a new buy at this level. If you are on a buy, just keep tab. Your stop loss should just be a bit below here for now. If you've been buying from here, it should be below here for now while you're trying to see what price is going to do. And if you now have a correction, a deep correction at a 50 or a 61.8, we look for another buy to the upside. That might be a rocket to the upside. So that's what we are seeing. So on the higher time frame, apart from this doji, the daily doji, see what price has done, and it probably was going to close like this. So it's a correction here for now. It's not a new move. On the 4 hour time frame, so we are seeing that price also is trying to break. Maybe this one has finished a wave 4. This may be a wave 1 and a wave 2. Once we break above here, then it confirms that this is going to the upside as well as a wave 3 here. So we need to see how this one is going to go. It may not have finished the internal structure of wave 3 in itself here, but price is going to burn and divert towards this side before we see we are coming down. So we are almost there. If price is going to give us that, we need to pay attention to structure and the wave that is building. So let's go to gold. Gold. I will be spending a little more time on gold for us. Now, I'm not going to go inside much structure, but what I want to show us on gold is that we believe that we have done a wave 4, and after this move, we believe that this is the first A to the downside, the first move to the downside, a B, and the last C here. And after this last C here, you may be thinking, oh, maybe we are going to still have a bigger correction to the downside, that this one will now become an A, B, C, W, an X, and a Y. That is off the table. That is completely off the table. Why? Because the recovery of this new wave had broken 76. Once it breaks 76, you know that is off the table. So it's more defined for us that this is going as a new wave to the upside. It has broke this top. It's almost breaking this area. It has even broken 90. So once it breaks 90, you know that this is impulsive. It's impulsive the way it's going up. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 building up. 1, 2, 3 wave building up here. So this is impulsive, and taking the top here is the least that we expect the price to do. Now, on the daily time frame, we had not seen an appearance, because somebody may ask me, am I sure that this is going to take the top? Am I sure that it's done? Yeah, the same way I told us that we shouldn't be looking for buy on NZD USD, for buy on Eurodollar. You shouldn't be looking for new buy at this level of gold. All you should be looking for is a sell. So, and if you're going to have a sell, the entire run to the upside may just be a wave 1 here. The entire run may just be a wave 1. We may be having a deep correction of wave 2, whatever is going to give us, how deep is going to go, but we need a correction to buy gold again. That's what I'm trying to say now. We need a correction. So, but we should allow this. This one is not finished. So if we are holding our buy, let's hold our buy and let it stall and get to a point that we feel is logical enough, and we come out. And if this is going up and breaking top, except you probably, if you have like 2 or 3 positions like myself, like I have 6 positions, I might just want to relinquish about 4 positions at that top and allow 2 to see if I can continue to trade my stop loss in case they decide to overshoot and go up. Of course, I'll be watching for all these moves and the sign to tell me if something is going to change, and I might just close that, manually. Once I see the mood for a correction, I may want to sell from that level. If I see an ending diagonal, sell to a correction. Of course, we're still going up again. Now, on the this day time frame, I've not seen anything to tell me that we are going up. These are just pullback here. This is or a 1-2-1-2, like I said. I think it's a nest. It's a nest also that has built up also on the wave 1. Usually it occurs maybe a 3 of 1 here. So let's see. I will be bringing out my drawing shortly because someone might need that. This is the end of a first wave. So we can see the first move of a 1 and a 2. And after this ABC of a 2 that ended here, no here, we see another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. And this movement is not a 4. So we must know when we expect a 1 and a 2, and we try to do our extension and it didn't mark up to a 161.8, know that it is not a 3. So, and if from there, that new move, a new low here and a new high here, it's giving you what is more than 40 of about 50 or 60. That is a nest, a 1-2. So we must know that. So the trend line, you must not forget the use of a trend line, because most of the time is within wave 3 that we see a nest build. And a nest means that it's going to be much longer and it's going to grow much bigger. And that's why you will see a nest in any third wave. It rarely occurs in the fourth and the fifth wave, but most of the time you see a nest in the third wave. So it is a nest also, a 1 and a 2. Let's see. Let me bring up my drawing to help you further. So we can see this, that the trend support between 1 and 2 has been drawn, which is more lower, much lower. If you are waiting for this, you waste your time. The move would have gone before you know it. Then we see this move again, and a 1 and a 2. So these had gone. This is 4 hours, by the way. You know, a 1 and a 2, and these, an extension to mark up this as a wave 3 is actually at this level. So going by the golden yellow is at this level. So that tells you that this is not wave 3. So this is a nest, a 1 and a 2. Then within this wave itself, we began to count another 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So